Welcome to paradise. This is Ben Cubbage from Elevated Trips, and today we're taking you on an unforgettable journey through Phuket in southern Thailand. This is an amazing beach destination, and we're gonna go see some night markets. We're gonna slide down a zip line. We're gonna see some of the most beautiful beaches in all of Phuket and go snorkeling, and we're even gonna see a sea turtle. So join us for this journey as we travel for 2 weeks across the most amazing places in Phuket, Thailand. Okay, one thing that's super important to know is that there's really only about 100,000 people that live long-term in Phuket, Thailand, but there's about 14 million people that visit it every year. So it is a destination that does have a lot of people. It's possible to get off the beaten track and stay in some little hideaway resorts that are nice and not quite as crowded, but I will say Patong Beach, you're going to see thousands of people around. It's a nice beach, but don't expect to be laying on the beach by yourself under a palm tree. There's quite a few people there. There can even be 3, 4, 5 separate rows of shoulder-to-shoulder lined lawn chairs along the beach. So be aware that there are quite a few people there. Okay, we're right here on the Patong waterfront. So if you're staying in Phuket, at some point you're probably going to move through Patong. This is definitely the beach party area. It's kind of where it's probably the most crowded part of the beaches. There are several beaches here that are not crowded. Kamala Beach is a little more family friendly. Rawai Beach is family friendly, and Soaring Beach. So those are nice beaches, but they're all kind of around Patong within maybe 20 to 30 minutes drive. So everything is kind of like a 30 to 40 minute drive from one beach to another, because there is a lot of traffic here because it's such a narrow peninsula. So as far as the accommodation here, really anything from really cheap $15–20 a night dorm style budget backpacker places to 5-star resorts, Hilton, Shangri-La, Hyatt, Movenpick, anything that, in the 5-star brand. There's those, there's private villas, there's Airbnbs, there's all sorts of accommodation. If you're a family traveling like us, I personally recommend an Airbnb. For about the same price of a hotel, you can actually get an entire house with a private pool. Okay, we had a 4 a.m. wake up and pickup from Phuket around Patong, where our villas were. And you can see this is the jumping off pier for Soaring and Similan Islands, which are some of the best snorkeling in all of Phuket. So breakfast is pretty simple, just a couple cookies, toast, a few pieces of fruit. But when you get up at 4 a.m. and you're going snorkeling, you can't expect a whole lot here. But do know that this is about a 2-hour one-way drive from the main Patong area in Phuket. So you are going to be driving a lot, and this is definitely a day with a lot of travel time. We happen to be on an early bird tour, which means we got picked up at 4 a.m. and we're departing from this pier at Khao Lak around 7 in the morning. So we're trying to beat the crowds. There are a lot of people that try to do both Similan and Snorkeling Islands, so do not expect to have the beach to yourself. But even with other boats doing the same destination, I would say this is well worth it and one of the best day trips for a full day of snorkeling around the Phuket area. Here there's 11 islands that are part of the Similan archipelago, and these are about 70 kilometers or about a 1.5 hour boat ride from this Khao Lak pier. Most of the islands in Similan are quite rocky, but some do have a white sandy beach with incredible blue crystal clear water, and that water is exactly what we're trying to see with its incredible marine biodiversity today as we're setting off to the Similan Islands. Yeah, that was about an hour ride. It was super bumpy on the boat, but lots of fun, and the wind really was blowing through my hair. Okay, this is Similan Beach. So you can see right now there's probably about 400 or 500 people on it. Several large boats. It isn't early morning, 4 o'clock morning, but you can see at 10 o'clock the beach is pretty full, and it probably gets a little more full throughout the day. Probably 11, 12 o'clock has maybe 500 people on it. So do be aware that you're not going to be the only person out here, but it is really worth coming, and the sand is just amazing. It's like this super soft flour texture. It's the softest sand I've ever felt in my life. All right, we are on top of Sail Rock. So it's only about 115 meters horizontal distance to get up here, so it's not long, about 5-10 minute walk. Most people just do it with their bare feet. They land on the beach, hang on the beach for 30-40 minutes, and your boat will usually provide soft drinks. There's a bathroom here, there's a small restaurant if you need anything, and then about 5-10 minute walk up here, and it's pretty rocky, but should be no problem with bare feet. So you can see behind me, we're kind of squeezing through these rocks. It's definitely not dangerous, but you will be kind of moving through a few little caves. So a couple times you got to duck your head to get through these rocks, but overall it's pretty safe. You know, there's hundreds of people that come here to Similan Islands every day. But do watch your footing, as you know, you're definitely walking on some slippery rocks, especially if you're wet out here. It could be a bit dangerous. Okay guys, this is it. This is the reason you come to Phuket. Swimming with sea turtles, snorkeling at the Similan Bay on Similan Islands. This is really what sets the Similan Islands apart from any other beach destination, the amazing snorkeling here. So a few years ago, our family traveled to the Phi Islands after COVID, and it was a spectacular trip. And we stayed there for 3 or 4 nights, and it was totally worth doing. Highly, highly recommend the Phi Islands. But if you're looking for something a little bit more off the beaten track, a little bit more alternative than Phi Islands, I really recommend the Similan day trip. It is absolutely spectacular. With crystal clear waters, vibrant coral reefs, and an explosion of marine life, some of the clearest water that you're ever going to see, this hidden gem is a dream for ocean lovers. Get ready to swim alongside sea turtles, tropical fish, and even though we didn't see any, you might even see a reef shark. Whether you're a beginner snorkeler or a pro scuba diver, the Similan Islands offer an unforgettable underwater adventure. Okay, this is the Phuket Old Town night market. This market only happens on Sunday, but is the biggest night market in all of Phuket. If you're here on a Sunday, you gotta check this place out. It is very busy. This market really has everything from little souvenirs that are just a couple dollars to even Australian steakhouse, which has real Australian Wagyu steak for about $6 per steak. So that's pretty good value. So anything you want is here. Great outdoor market, great place to eat dinner. Easily you can spend 2 or 3 hours just walk around. It does get pretty crowded right around 7 o'clock. Okay, so this is Hanuman World, about 45 minutes out of Patong, the main beach in Phuket, and this is the main and biggest zip line in all of Phuket. And today we're going to be doing 2 hours of zip lining, including an 800 meter, that's right, 800 meters, 8 football fields long roller zip line, which should be really, really exciting. So this is kind of the zip line park, and we're about to check in here.
Here we go.
Okay, we're walking up to the zip line here. So facilities are really nice here. I really like it. They've done it in a really natural way. It feels really jungly. It doesn't feel super commercial. Even the restaurant is kind of bamboo forest. So I really like that. So they've done a really great job. And behind me, you can see the 800 meter long zip line. It's kind of like a hanging roller coaster. Just I came down there.
This is a big one.
Okay, we're doing the skywalk here. It's a little bit of a boardwalk, probably about 20 meters above the forest floor. Really nice. You get a great view walking through the zip lines, great view through the forest. There's not really any monkeys here. If you've ever done any skywalks in Malaysia or Indonesia, those have a few more gibbons. Not really too much wildlife here to see, but it is really pretty to walk through the jungle forest, and definitely worth a good 2 or 3 hours, a half day of activity to do the skywalk and the zipline. All right, someone's coming down the 800-meter long roller coaster zipline. Now you can see them flying behind me. Look at that. That's so much fun. For more in travel, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button so that you can see all of our videos as we travel all the way across Southeast Asia.